part number 4 of flower breeding project. Already you would have seen the part number 1, 2 and 3. Suppose if you have not seen any of these parts, the links of the above parts are given in the description. You just go through the part number 1, part number 2 and part number 3. Unless and until you go through these 3 parts, it will be very difficult to understand what I am going to cover in this particular part. So see the other parts using the links given in the description and come to this part. Okay friends, now in this particular part we are going to see about water changing methods. When a flower breeding program is going on, the water changing is a crucial process. Why? Because normally we are giving some kind of food to the breeding animals. Last video in the part number 3 I told you about bloodworms, mealworms, prawn and many other things. So when you give this kind of food to flower, they continuously defecate in the tank and the water will become slowly poisonous. When you fill up the water will be crystal clear and it is hygienic for the breeding process. As the feeding process continues, even though the filters are running in the tank, the water will become poisonous. When the water becomes poisonous, slowly become more and more poisonous, the breeding program may get delayed and the male and female will not coordinate with each other. So it is mandatory to do water change at least 10 to 20% once in 3 to 4 days. Secondly, when you do water change, it triggers the breeding behavior of the fishes. That is, when you do mild water change, the new water temperature and pH will get varied and TDS, many other factors coincide, and it induces the ovulation in the female fish and triggers the sperm production in male. So this water change is must. Moreover, when you do this water change, it keeps the environment clean. Usually flower cichlids before breeding they clean up the clay plate and they lay the eggs. So when you keep the tank cleaning in a condition, it will be easy for the male and female to breed. So these are the 3 important points why we have to do water change. Now let us see how to do water change. Usually when you have the breeding pair male and female in a glass tank, there will be sponge filter. I already told in the part number 1 or 2. These 2 sponge filters have to be cleaned pakka. You have to remove the sponge without disturbing the male and female. You have to take it out and you have to rinse well the sponge without using any chemical, particularly acid or any detergents. You wash the sponge clearly and ensure that there are no dust accumulated in the sponge. Then you can refit into the sponge filter. When you are removing the sponge filter, you should not disturb the clay plate. The clay plate, when you kept near to the partition glass, it should be in the same position. It should not get disturbed. When you disturb the clay plate, the female will feel some inconvenience and it may not lay eggs in the clay plate, assuming that it is a mobile pot. It's a moving pot, it will not lay the eggs. So when you do the cleaning process, sponge cleaning process, you should not disturb the clay plate. Then when you do the water change, you have to take out the fecal matter from the bottom of the tank using a siphon pipe without disturbing male and female. Please ensure that you should not disturb male and female at any point of time. And even a single disturbance will cause the female getting more ferocious towards our hand, and even it may attack a person who is cleaning the tank. So it is better to avoid the disturbance of both the parents. So do the water change from the bottom of the tank. Try to remove the fecal matter accumulated then and there in the bottom of the tank. After taking out the bottom water, you can refill with the water. When you refill the tank, you should not disturb the male and female with a heavy force of water. This heavy force of water will also disturb the female and female breeding behavior. So you have to pour water slowly, either using a hose pipe or using a mug. You have to fill up the water. So this is the breeding process. Water change, how you have to do. You do water change 10 to 20%. Don't go for excess of 20%. It may affect the water temperature and other factors. So it is better to go for 10 to 20%. Okay, now I told about we have to do water change, why and how. Now let us see which water has to be used. Some of you may be using corporation water or municipal water for breeding. Some may be using bore water or mineral water or RO water. Whatever water you use, when you use the mineral, particularly municipal water, you have to be very, very careful. The water may be containing chlorine. When you set up the tank, you would have removed the chlorine and other compounds using the chloride chemicals and chlorine finder. You would have used the chlorine finder to find out the chlorine. You would have set up the tank. Now when you go for the water change, you should not pour directly municipal water into the tank. You have to collect the water in a small barrel or tub. You have to remove chlorine using chlorout and chlorfine. Already I have given a separate video about how to remove chlorine from your water using chlorine finder and chlorine remover. You just go through the video, and if at all you have any doubts, you can WhatsApp me or call me back. Okay, you have to condition the water before pouring into the tank. Suppose if it is a bore water, that also you have to condition it, because we don't know at what feed you are getting the water. It is below the ground level. Sometimes the water may be coming without oxygen. When you fill the tank, if there is a deficiency of oxygen, the fishes will get a lot of stress and they will come to the surface. So it is better to avoid the water which is already directly taken from the bore water. So better you collect the water in a tub and use it. So this is the method you have to follow for doing the water change. Then you should not do mainly two things during the water change. First thing, you should not do 100% water change. This is a must. Normally for a healthy fish, any fish, we never recommend 100% water change, particularly during the breeding time. Just because the water is looking very dirty, you should not go for 100% water change. This is the first thing you should not do. The second thing, you have to add the water slowly into the tank, not in a forced manner. If you add the water in a forced manner, the male and female will get disturbed and the breeding program may get extended. So like this, there are many pots available in this breeding project. Keep following all the pots. It may extend up to 11 pots. So there are many information available in our channel about fish keeping regarding diseases and stock updates, knowledge updates, bloodworm freezing video. Many things are available in our channel. Keep following our channel and recommend our channel to your friends also. Thank you.